Ho-ho! Ha-ha! Yeah! Hi, this is Joseph, and we're going to be looking at a Logic tutorial about sine wave basses. So what I'm going to do is we're going to be looking at sine wave basses, and the reason that I'm going to show you this tutorial today is because I've used this recently and I think it sounds awesome, and I think it works in a lot of great genres of music. So whether you're looking at house music, whether you're looking at something a little bit grimy, whether you're looking at something a bit more hip hop, trap based, anything electronic. I also heard it in a Feist track as well, so I thought this is going to be quite a cool tutorial, and I hope you enjoy. So what I'm going to do, classic, I'm going to do it house based, but it depends whatever genre you want to make it. Feel free to experiment as well with it. So first thing I'm going to do is get a loop of a kick. So as you can see on my right, where my mouse is, I'm on my loopmaster's thing, which is just hooked up to my external hard drive. I'm then going to just get bass drum sample, go listen through a few, see what, that's my personal favourite, so I'm just going to pop that, 4 on the floor, like that. I've accidentally put it on the wrong track, so I'm just going to pop that there. This is a brand new track. I also, as a precaution, always put a limiter on the output audio track. I'm just going to turn the softening off. And the reason I do that is so that when I do go to mix this or do go to master, it's just easier to work with the audio so that you're not constantly working with clipped audio if you're blasting it. But it also keeps it at quite a nice level. So what I've done, I've put 4 on the floor, 1 on each count, so going 1, 2, 3, 4, and as you can see how quick I was, I literally just highlighted and copied them. And there we go, just basic kick sample, nothing special, nice and bassy, just how we like it. So I've turned the tempo as well to 130, so as you can see from the bottom, you just drag that up and down, and so speed up the tempo a little bit, just because I work with 130 a heck of a lot. So here we go, if we carry on. Now the first thing I'm going to do in terms of looking at the bass, I'm literally going to use some real basic stock Logic sounds. So you can try this with any soft synthesizer, and you can do this. I know I've seen tutorials where they used Klopfelgeist. I can't really pronounce that properly, but I've seen it where they use Klopfelgeist, and they make bass drops using it by using automation, which I think is really, really cool. But we're going to use EXS 24 because this is going to be a really pitched sound, and I'm going to go mono because we're going to be using bass frequencies. You should always use bass frequencies as mono, so anything below 250 Hertz should always be a bass frequency. So when you use EXS 24, I'm using Logic 9 by the way, you get this really basic little sine wave sound, which is perfect. It's exactly what I want. And now look, if you look down envelope 2, you can see that we've got an attack down low, so we're going to keep that there. I'm going to turn the decay up just a tiny little bit, and then our release we're going to turn up just before half, and now we're getting a little tail to it. So and we've got this really nice bass effect. I'm now going to put my keyboard down an octave. You can probably hear my keyboard clicking a lot. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to just record and use a C minor arpeggio and just record in between the gaps of the kick drum. So I've just gone 3 notes really simply. I'm going to just click that, double click on the box. So now we get this window down here on the bottom. I'm going to quantize it. I'm going to do it properly. 1/16 notes, and that's put it into. And there we go. So we're working with this. You've got this really nice sine wave bass going on now. I'm now just going to blast the velocity. Not happy with the rhythm. I'm going to put that on the off beat, and then I'm going to move this back on the 16th note before beat 2. So here we go. And then I'm going to copy this over. And what I'm going for is I'm trying to go in between the beats, because I've got two bass frequencies going on, one with the kick and one with our sine wave bass. If we play them together, they're going to clash as well. This is also what's a bit worrying with the tail. So when you go, if you think that the bass frequencies are clashing, you can either A, turn down the release of EXS. So you can see that just down there. This is on envelope 2. So if you can see my mouse there, pull it down, and then you have less of a sound. Turn it up, you have more of a sound. So it really depends on what style of music you're producing. I'm also going to pump the volume of this one, so if you can see the volume where my mouse is saying -6, I'm just going to put it to 0. So I'm just going to drive it a little bit. And I've moved the pitch of that note up, and I'm just going to play around with just some different pitches. So I'm going to play that around. This could actually work really nicely for something like garage. This is actually what it's reminding me of, which is like UK garage. And there we go. So that's our bass. Really quite straightforward. And then experiment with different effects as well, because if I play that by itself and solo the track, and then go on our effects bar just on the left side, I'm not going to EQ or anything, but a lot of the time if you EQ it, you can play around with our frequency. So I'm going to put my favourite on first, which is a bit crusher. And I've downsampled it -15. And it just sounds like Daft Punk, and you get loads of whole different feel to it. It sounds great. I really like that. Overdrive, we've also got. And if we overdrive a sine wave as well, it's gonna, you get a different sound from it as well. But remember to use some corrective EQing, because especially using the stock overdrive with a really low sample, it's gonna need some like tailoring and some tinkering with some EQ. So and it's just a matter of volumes. And then the last thing, put one more effect on that I think would work. Just filters. Just see what a filter would sound like with it. So if I'm just going to use Logic stock auto filter, pick a preset. Dead. So it's all up to you, just depending on what your sound sounds like. So I'm going to just turn that off because I like it the way it is. But a little bit of EQ, a little bit of compression. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Good times. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed yourself watching. I hope you've learnt something as well from using Logic. If you really enjoyed the lesson today, please drop some comments in the box below. Feel free to subscribe as well, and also check out my website, which is josephofficial.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon. Ta-ra, love!